Here's a fly ball out towards center field. This one's going back, and this one is gone! Taylor gets this one out towards center field to the short porch, and it's a grand slam! That's a floater, out to short. And it's booted off the shortstop's glove! Just like they drew it from Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons! Grant Fournier, 2-run shot to right.
We welcome you to a wonderful baseball field down here in the heart of Gloucester County at Ryan K. Ionelli Memorial Field. It's the Gloucester Catholic Rams and the Kingsway Dragons in what is sure to be and what has always been a star-studded matchup. Don't let the fact that Gloucester Catholic has won the past 5 matchups over the Dragons fool you. 3 of the last 5 games have ended in 1-run victories. We were at GC when they played in late May in what was a 2-1 walk-off win for Gloucester Catholic in 8 innings. So today doesn't seem like it's going to be any different. Gloucester Catholic's bringing out their usual hot guns, and they've got Jackson Smollett's on the hill. Meanwhile, Kingsway is going with a bit of a wild card. Their right-hander is going to be Jake Mangafesta, younger brother of Evan Mangafesta, who will be taking the start, or excuse me, older brother, I should say. I don't know, I guess you could say he is a younger brother because he did graduate a couple of years ago. My math is a little bit messed up. It is still Wednesday. But here we go. Kingsway and Gloucester Catholic in one of the best Tri-County Royal matchups you can ask for, and in one of the best South Jersey matchups you can ask for. Media is all aligned down the home plate line from the dugout to dugout, from left to right. We've got a whole lot of presence here. We've got a lot of scouts. We've got a lot of people that want to see these two teams duke it out in what is going to be a thrilling 7-inning matchup. Like we said, Jackson Smollett is the right-hander on the hill for Gloucester Catholic. Meanwhile, Jake Mangafesta will be on the hill for Kingsway. And these are two coaches that are incredibly experienced. Dennis Barth with a 485, 87-1 overall in his first stint with Gloucester Catholic. That was from 1994 to 2012. And overall, his overall record is 579, 117-1. Yeah, he's been coaching for almost 30 years, and he's only lost about 115 games. Now, of course, in between that was a 7-year stint over at Rutgers Camden before he came back just around the pandemic. But with umpires showing up, Bill Alvaro as well, another famous South Jersey coach who spent 16 years over at Washington Township. His overall record is 462, 231-1. So both coaches with heavy experience, both over 450 wins in their career, and both fielding serious seasoned lineups here at a Tri-County Royal matchup. I'm Dan Wilkins, joined by Jake Steidler on the call today here on a Wednesday cloudy afternoon from Kingsway Regional, but with the weather above us, it couldn't be a better day for baseball here in South Jersey. Don't forget, we've got Burlington Township and Cinnaminson on Friday for our next high school showcase, 4 o'clock at Cinnaminson over there with their new head coach, Alex Inge, and the former assistant at Cherry Hill West. We'll be back in just a minute. Umpires and coaches will now present the starting lineups and their ground rules, and we'll be back in just a few for our introductions and first pitch from Ryan K. Ionelli Field here in Woolwich Township. We've got the left-hander on the hill for the Kingsway Dragons this afternoon. It's going to be Jake Mangafesta, younger brother of Evan Mangafesta, class of 2023 over at Kingsway. Of course, Kingsway had a very good season, the 6th under Bill Alvaro, who took over in 2019 after leaving Washington Township just before the 2018 season. He spent 16 years over there and even won a sectional championship in 2007. But now that he's over at Kingsway and he's been there for a full rotation, he's now in his 6th year here. These are two seasoned head coaches, not in their first stop, if you will, but both with incredible heaps of experience, and not only that, but winning as well. Like we said, Dennis Barth, 579 wins, Bill Alvaro Jr., 462 wins, and not to mention the fact that, of course, Bill Alvaro Sr., another heavily revered coaching figure in South Jersey. Mangafesta, the left-hander, in his first varsity start. Don't have any prior statistics for Mangafesta. His younger brother, Evan, was a longtime hitter and pitcher for the Dragons. But with that being said, let's introduce what Gloucester Catholic has on the table here in our starting lineups, brought to you by Harper Driving School. For GC today, they are lining out with Noah Danza to commit to Virginia. He's at shortstop, batting leadoff, the transfer from Clearview. Jason Bogart is at second base. Guy Lynham in the 3 spot at DH. Jack Mastero, the power-hitting first baseman. He bats cleanup. Henry Pancoast in center field. Jude Morgan in right. Mikey Angelo at third. Sal Marziani in left. And Gavin Franchetti behind the dish. First pitch of the ball game is upstairs. And we are underway. 1-0 from Ryan K. Ionelli Field. An excuse me swing that gets popped out onto the lacrosse field. 1-1. One ball, one strike to Danza in the first at-bat of the night. Swing and a miss. Got him to go early, and it's 1-2. Danza, one of several Power 5 baseball commits here in South Jersey for Gloucester Catholic specifically. And you don't get a lot better than what Gloucester Catholic has when it comes to developing players and getting them ready for the next stage. There's a swing and a miss. They throw down to first to confirm, but the batter is out. Danza's retired, out number 1. That'll bring up Jason Bogart. Some changes to the Gloucester Catholic lineup were made. Lynham was originally supposed to hit in the 2 spot. They added Gavin Franchetti to the lineup. Didn't change too much, but that was one of them. Bogart was a little bit deeper in the order for GC. Now he gets bumped up to the 2 spot. Lynham down to the 3 at the DH. Strike called there. 0-1. One misses away, 1-1. Gets a strike called there, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes with 1 away. Misses at the eyes, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. Bogart takes low and the count is full. Good turnaround here for Bogart after starting the at-bat a little bit pedestrianly, and now finds a way to work the count full and get the rookie Mangafesta's pitch count up early. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Took a fastball upstairs. He offered at it, couldn't hold, and now it's out number 2. Back-to-back Ks for Kingsway to start this outing. Here's Guy Lynham, DH for Gloucester Catholic in today's contest. Lynham, the lefty, committed to Auburn University in the SEC. Doesn't get much better than that. They've been doing well for themselves this year. Of course, Gloucester Catholic graduated Tate Darius, who is now getting some nice playing time over at Miami with the Hurricanes. Missed off the plate there. 2-0. Catches the zone that time, 2-1. Gloucester Catholic opened up their 2025 season with a 6-0 shutout win over Washington Township. They play the Hun School of Princeton and NJ Independent on the 3rd, that being tomorrow. And in fact, this is the start of 3 games in 3 days. They play Pennsville, another Tri-County opponent, on Friday to the 4th. Jack Mastero, the lefty, another lefty-lefty matchup will be on deck. Here's a dribbler out towards second base. It's picked up, fires to first. It's in time. Side retired. A scoreless first for Jake Mangiafesta, and the inning is over as the junior left-hander retires 2 via the strikeout and another slow ground ball. 3 up, 3 down for GC. Smallets will now take the hill in a scoreless game. Kingsway grabs their bats in the bottom half of the first inning. After Gloucester Catholic went down in order in the top half of the first. First batter for Kingsway will be the shortstop, Logan Taylor. Taylor, Shields, and Rickards the first 3. First pitch is a strike. Kyle Shields bats in the second spot. Dylan Rickards, the commit to Wilmington at first. Dylan Patero in right field. Braden Thorpe at second. Then it's Austin Schmidt, Nate Bott, Cam Stevenson, and the backstop, Ashton Ford. 0-1 from Jackson Smallets is outside. 1-1 to Taylor. Taylor, as a sophomore last year, 22 walks, 14 stolen bases, a .304 batting average. As this one is hit out into the shortstop's position, throw across the diamond is in plenty of time. Taylor is retired for out number 1. And that will bring up Kyle Shields, the left fielder. Shields only had 2 at-bats as a utility man sophomore. But he went 2 for 2 when it mattered most. 6 career at-bats, 4 for 6, 1 RBI. He's already had 4 at-bats this year, 2 for 4 in a win over Gloucester Tech at the Kingsway campus on Monday. That one misses away, 1-0. Catches the plate, 1-1. Shield 4 for 6 in his career with not too many at-bats recorded, but it looks like with him batting in the 2 slot in just the second game of the season that Coach Alvaro has confidence in his man going forward. Here's the 1-1. Another good fastball there from Smallets, catches the outside corner. I mean, he has been really good at locating those fastballs in and out. A lot of that lower corner gets hit a lot from Smallets. The commit to Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers in the Sun Belt Conference. The 1-2. Smallets kicks and delivers. Dribbler out towards the third base side, picked up, throw across on a run is in time. Out number 2 as Mistero buries that one. Let's take a look at what Jackson Smallets has to offer for the Coastal Carolina commit. He did quite well for himself as a junior in 2024. As you can see right up there on those stats for Smallets. Some heavy fastball velocity, a 1.4 ERA for Gloucester Catholic. 10 innings pitched, 19 in his career, 26 career strikeouts, 20 of them were as a junior, and just 2 earned runs in 2024. This brings up Dylan Rickards, the commit to Wilmington University, the Division II, as that one almost knocked out one of the reporter's cameras back there behind the plate. I don't want to be footed with the bill. It's 1-0. Rickards, also a football defensive lineman for the Dragons, who went 6-5 last year under Mark Hendricks. Rickards on the ground to third. Looks like this is going to be a clean first inning for both sides, and it will. Side retired. Smallets and Manjafesta go back and forth as 3 balls put in play in the infield are no trouble for 39. We're through 1 here at Kingsway, no score. Top of the second inning here from Kingsway. No score. Both teams in a groove. 2 strikeouts from Manjafesta, the left-hander. First pitch to Jack Mistero is a strike.
Mistero being the hero last year against Bishop Eustis in the South Jersey non-public B final.
That was a big moment for Mistero, the walk-off single to right center field. I mean, Jack Mistero is the one guy that I think could pursue a very great athletic career in any sport that he wanted. He's Gloucester Catholic's all-time leading scorer in basketball. He has one of the smoothest three-point jumpers I've ever seen. He broke a 60-plus-year-old record dating back to I think it was 1969, so less than 60 years, but still. Ground ball over the middle. That will trickle into center field for a base hit. Mistero gets aboard. Fielded cleanly out there. by Stevenson. And Gloucester Catholic will be the first to bite with a single. That's exactly what GC wanted. A little bit of a tone setter there to start. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild, but just a little single up the middle to send the message that they're here to stay offensively. And that's what they've got in the tank here. First pitch is a strike called to GC's number 5 hitter, Henry Pancoast, the center fielder. It'll be Mistero, Pancoast, and Jude Morgan, the center fielder and right fielder respectively for Gloucester Catholic. Throwback to first, not. Gloucester Catholic's dugout fired up, as they pretty much will be all season. Swing and a miss. That ball went through the legs of the catcher Ford, but he hangs onto it. And it's 0-2. Cloudy skies here from Kingsway today. First pitch degrees of 54, with wind blowing slightly out to left field at 8 miles per hour. Here's the 0-2. Check swing, misses the zone, and doesn't get the call either, so it's 1-2. A lot of the Gloucester Catholic players will need some hot tea after the game tonight, and probably will need some for every game in the rest of the season. That one also skips away. Ford hangs onto it. Just like the Phillies have Independence Blue Cross on their shoulder pads for their sponsors, I think Gloucester Catholic could use one from Lipton as they get deeper into the season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pancoast steps out. Wanted a confirmation on the count. It is 3-2 now, it looks like. At least according to the scoreboard. Pancoast ready to go. Mangiafesta kicks and delivers. Got him swinging. 3 Ks for Mangiafesta in the first inning and a third. And after Mistero's single, he gets the momentum to swing right back his way. Out number 1. Throw over to first, not in time. Jude Morgan, the senior, his 19th career at bat with Gloucester Catholic. Went 0 for 2 in their win over Washington Township 6-0 on Monday. 0-1 is the count. Morgan batting 111 in very small plate appearances. 2 for 18, 4 runs scored, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and a stolen base. Also fielded 2 2/3 innings on the mound last year for the Rams. But like we said, Gloucester Catholic is just the perfect combination of what it means to be a winning program, as there's a strike there, 0-2. Last season had one of the best combinations of a team ERA and a team average I have ever seen. I mean, they were 27-2, undefeated in Tri-County play, 348 team average, 466 slugging percentage. They had a grand total of 47 doubles, 7 triples, and 10 homers. Team ERA of 1.53. Ground ball out to second base. Picked up, they'll try to turn 2, not going to get to. Morgan beat it out at first, but that'll be a 4-6 fielder's choice for out number 2. And that's good thinking there by Braden Thorpe over at second base. He was shifted a little bit to the right, and when he fielded the ground ball, he was even a little bit more to the left. So I like what he did there going for the second base out, because I think sometimes he would think a little too long, or any player would think a little too long about making that throw down to second. So he made sure that his ambitions were known, and he made sure that he made that play quickly and swiftly down to second base to get the lead runner, Mistero.
The freshman Mike Angelo.
And here is Angelo with a strike called. Angelo went 1 for 2 in his varsity debut with a hit by pitch and a stolen base versus Washington Township. As we said, for Gloucester Catholic, this is their first game in 3 days, and then, first of 3 games in 3 days. Downstairs. I mean, considering Gloucester Catholic was 27-2 last year, only losses were in the semifinal round of the Diamond Classic to Cherry Hill, to Del Barton, which is another national powerhouse in New Jersey. Starting, and not in the 9 spot either. They have him in the 7 slot in right field. To be starting in your opening day and in your second game of your freshman career, that's a very big accomplishment. Ground ball out to first base is scooped by Rickards at first to retire the side. Gloucester Catholic, a little bit of noise going, but falls silent. And after an inning and a half, we go to the bottom of the second inning. No score here from Woolwich Township. Kingsway goes to bat in the bottom of the second inning. They went down in order. 4, 5, and 6. Dylan Patero, Braden Thorpe, and Austin Schmidt, the DH. Patero batting out of the left-handed batter's box here versus Smallets. A bit of a platoon matchup here. In right field batting cleanup. That one's a plunker. On the first pitch, Patero looking down Smallets and now goes to first base. Umpire saying something, trying to make sure everybody's piping down. Probably a good idea in this part of the ball game to make sure that everybody's not acting foolishly out there. Don't want to get anybody in trouble. Remember, an ejection in New Jersey baseball is an automatic 2-game suspension. Happened to a couple of players that we saw last year. First pitch is a strike called to Braden Thorpe. Last game between these two was on May 17th of last year. 2-1 final in favor of Gloucester Catholic. Had a walk-off to close out the regular season for the Rams. Smallets delivers. Flown out towards right center field. It'll be straight away. And it's taken in for out number 1 as Pancoast takes care of it. They also met in early May of the same season with Gloucester Catholic here at Kingsway having a bit of an offensive barrage. It was 13-8 the final. Here is Carter Schmidt, the DH. Austin Schmidt, rather, the DH. Outside. Kingsway graduated a handful of star seniors last year, including Tommy Popoff, who is now at Binghamton. Outside, 2-0. They also graduated Zach Bragg, who's at Chestnut Hill, Kyle Cupsey of Immaculata, Gavin McCaffrey out of Misericordia, the Division III national champions from last year, and Joey Finelli, the left-handed pitcher. He's now working with John Scanzano, the former Kings Christian coach at Camden County. Misses low. Smalit's in a little bit of at-bat trouble here with Schmidt. It's 3-0. I'm just liking this approach here from Austin Schmidt. Find a groove with Smalit's and doesn't swing at anything he doesn't like. Here's the 3-0. Gets the green light. Here's the 3-0. Gets the green light that time. Smalit's finds the zone. It's 3-1. Three balls, one strike with one away. That ball misses outside. And Schmidt will get the second runner on for Kingsway here after they went down in order in the first. It's Nate Bott now. Nate Bott, the junior, batted .179 as a sophomore, but a percentage thanks to his 5 extra base hits, 4 doubles and a homer, 18 walks, 7 hit by pitches, and 10 RBIs. He pitched and played third base for the Dragons. He's over at the hot corner today. Throw down to second, almost missed Bogart, and they're very lucky it didn't go into center field. Got a nearly sold-out crowd here at Kingsway. We had people filing into the seats more than 30 minutes before the game, but the students filing in very nicely here in Woolwich Township. They are loving the environment here at Kingsway. This place is getting loud for a high school baseball game in early April. I love it. First pitch catches the zone just beneath the letters to Bott. No balls, one strike, 2 runners on. After a hit by pitch from Patero, Schmidt with a walk. No hits yet for the Dragons. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Late on the fastball, got under it. Or swung under it, that is, and it's 0-2. Bott to be followed by the center fielder Cam Stevenson. No balls, 2 strikes. Smalit's with a couple of nods back at second base. He kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Beautiful slider down and away to fool Bott, and that'll be a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and out number 2. First strikeout for Smalit's. Now the center fielder Cam Stevenson will bat. This is a big opportunity for the bottom of the order to kind of prove their worth here versus Smalit's. You've got 2 runners on, 2 outs. Smalit's would like to get out of this inning now because you've got 9-1 and 2 due up if they end up escaping this jam and leading them off in the third. Strike called. Marziani, Franchitti, and Danza, 8-9 and 1 for Gloucester Catholic in the top half of the third inning. He steps off. Stevenson to be followed by the catcher Ashton Ford. That one is lined. Mastero is able to hang on to it. Does he get Smalit's in time? Diving in at first base, he got him. Stevenson dove in head first to first base as Mastero had to backpedal on the play. And they say he got him. Stevenson out after diving in head first to first, and the inning is over. Scoreless through 2, and in fact, Kingsway still looking for their first base knock after 2 innings here at Ryan Ionelli Field. Just dealing with a little technical issue here in the top of the third. We'll keep this camera up with us here. There we go, top of the third. Looks like everything's fixed on that regard. Count is 1-1. To Marziani. Strike called there, and it's 1-2. Marziani, the left fielder. Gavin Franchitti. That one misses there. A notable miss, or at least a notable absence in the Gloucester Catholic lineup is Braden Lipoff, the catcher committed to East Carolina. He went to Kingsway for his freshman year, just like Noah Danza did. He went to Clearview, and then he transferred to Gloucester Catholic, but they do have Franchitti as the backstop today. This one's popped up well over the infield. He takes off his cap. He's going to look to make the play, and coming up with it is Thorpe, out number 1. I don't know if I just didn't hear it or if there wasn't really any communication there in the infield. I mean, those guys, especially at this level, they have to be talking. They have to be talking. They've got to be chirping it up in the infield, you know, saying, I got it, I got it. They have to be a little bit more vigilant that way, because if the ball drops, then, well, you're kind of out of luck in that situation.
Those miscues screw you up a lot.
Especially at this level. Gloucester Catholic, if you make a mistake, you are going to pay for it dearly. Franchitti, the backstop. As a freshman last year, went 3 for 12. 1 hit by pitch, 2 stolen bases, only appeared in 5 games, and actually only started making appearances on May 24th versus St. Augustine, but also appeared in all 4 of Gloucester Catholic's playoff games. A liner out to center field. This one's got some carry to it. It's going to bounce off the bottom of the wall. Franchitti will horse his way to second base. He will stop there, and how about it for Gavin Franchitti? That's a 1-out double. That's a good piece of hitting there by Franchitti. Got a good count and just laced it out to center field. Got it over the head of Stevenson. And Gloucester Catholic starting to finally get themselves in the offensive playbook here with a double by Franchitti. Here's Danza, the transfer from Clearview, committed to committed to Virginia. Those navy blue and orange schools, always difficult to get right, but here we go. Danza struck out his first time. First pitch, misses low. Franchitti holds it second. This broadcast is brought to you by Harper Driving School. Over 90% of students who take their New Jersey State driving test with Harper pass on the first attempt. If you like those odds, you can book an appointment today at Suite 4 of the Total Turf Complex in Pittman at 614 Lambs Road. 1-0. Misses in there, 2-0. There you go, appreciate it. 2 balls, no strikes. Mangafesta looks back at second base. That one is a strike called. By the way, don't forget, on Saturday, April 5th, we'll be seeing Kingsway again in the Ralph Shaw tournament. They play at 11 a.m. versus Bishop Eustace, followed by my alma mater, Audubon, playing Camden Catholic at 2 p.m. 2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch misses low, and it's 3-1. Mangafesta adjusting his belt there. Gloucester Catholic plays Hunn on Thursday over in Princeton, and then Pennsville on Friday. Kingsway last year 17-9, started out the year 10-0, lost in the second round of the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs to Egg Harbor, the 7 seed, after beating 15 seed Millville at home 3-0. That's a walk to Danza as he works the count and picks up a free pass. 2 runners on. time is called as Kingsway's assistant will go out to talk to Manjafesta. Kingsway, as we said, 6-4 in the Tri-County Royal. They started out the year with a 6-5 win over GCIT. They scored in bunches. They trailed 3-0, but then scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th and 3 in the bottom of the 6th. Had 2 home runs in the game, one from Braden Thorpe and one from Dylan Patero. Nate Bott threw 4 1/3 in that ball game. Killian McCaffrey got the win with 2 2/3 scoreless. They play Clearview on Friday at 4 o'clock at Clearview at the Bog. And then they start out the Ralph Shaw Classic that we'll be at. We will only be there for the first round. I have a prior commitment with the American Ball Hockey Alliance on Sunday. Unfortunately, I would love to be there at my alma mater, but unfortunately, Egg Harbor Township will be calling us on Sunday. 4 teams in that tournament this year: Bishop Eustace, Kingsway, Camden Catholic, and Audubon. Camden Catholic being the newest member, replacing Cinnaminson, who after Eric Teasdale, the 4-year head coach of Cinnaminson, left, was replaced by Camden Catholic. First pitch is a strike called. Beautiful curveball there, and the student section reacts accordingly, as that was a wonderful looper down, and it's 0-1. That's kind of like baseball's equivalent to like a nasty crossover. Like you just heard everybody in the background go, oh, like that was good. 0-1, popped up foul. This will go over our heads. Look out. And it's 0-2. These guys are having fun here, and so are we. It's 0-2, 1 out. Gloucester Catholic threatening with 2 runners on in the top of the 3rd. Manjafesta and Smallets both working quickly here. Dribbler foul. It hit his foot. He'll be feeling that one in the morning as Bogart, who struck out his first at-bat. Manjafesta with 3 strikeouts. Hasn't had one since the 2nd inning, but he's got 2 runners on a double and a walk. High, 1-2. Manjafesta seems like he's pretty composed here, but he can't let Bogart's at-bat get to him, especially with Lynham and Mastero to follow. I mean, that's the 3-headed monster that you do not want to face right now, especially with 2 runners on. It would be even worse if the bases were loaded to face Lynham. Lefty, lefty or not, I don't care. Bases loaded with Guy Lynham is almost a death sentence. Here's a ground ball, out to short. Sliding stop, they go for the lead runner at 3rd. They got him, and it's out number 2. I thought they were going to try to turn 2, but I really like that strategy. Versus any other team, sure, try to get the out at 2nd and try to turn 2, but that was very smart defense there from the shortstop, Taylor, to find what was the easiest base, and it happened to be the lead runner. Now you got 2 outs and 2 on, just moving everybody over here for Lynham. So that will be scored as a 6-5 fielder's choice. First pitch. This one is hit out towards left center field. Looks like he got under it. Going in and making the catch will be Kyle Shields, as he puts a shield on that defensive tactic to retire the side. Gloucester Catholic leads 2 runners on, and going to the bottom of the 3rd, we still have no score.
In life, the road ahead is full of possibilities, but to navigate it safely, you need the right skills. Harper Driving School is the premier driving school serving Gloucester, Salem, and Camden counties. With experienced instructors, many of whom are teachers in local schools, we are dedicated to your success and will help you master the road with confidence. With an over 95% success rate of students passing their road test on their first try, you know your student will be in good hands while embarking on a huge step of their young adult lives, all while avoiding the lines at the DMV and getting insurance discounts.
We chose Harper, and so should you.
There's Jackson Smalitz over there, and there's Bill Alvaro Jr. with 460-plus wins. Like we said, this is not just a matchup of two incredibly good teams. This is a matchup of two incredibly good coaches. Dennis Barth, 579 career wins for him. He is 6th in South Jersey coaching history in all of the land and in all time. The only men that here behind are Russ Spicer, who coached a handful of teams in South Jersey, including Haddonfield and Cinnaminson. In fact, the Haddonfield ballpark is named the Russ Spicer Diamond. Rich Horan of Audubon, who was an assistant at Gloucester Catholic before going to Audubon in 1992. Then you had Rich Bender, Lee Ware, and Sam Tropiano. Of course, Lee Ware, the very famous head coach over at Woodstown, replaced by Mark DeCastro. We'll be seeing Woodstown on April 10th, next Thursday, versus Gloucester. 1-0 to Ashton Ford, who leads us off 9-1-2 in the bottom of the third. 0-1, grounded, got behind it, out to second base. Bogart is there, and that's out number 1. Kingsway still without a hit in this one. And a 4-3 ground out starts the third, brings us back up to Taylor. Through the first rotation of the order, Smalitz only had 1 strikeout, and that was to the 7th man, Bott. Taylor to be followed by Kyle Shields, the left fielder. Taylor grounded out to short his first time. Strike called. Outside, ball 1. Didn't see his signal there. Bottom of the third, no score, 1-0. This one is hit well out towards center field. He tosses the bat, but it will stay in the ballpark. Fairly standard play for Henry Pancoast, 2 up, 2 down. In no way is Smalitz facing the minimum, but he has done quite well for himself as he faces Kyle Shields, who grounded out the opposite way to third his first time. Don't forget, tomorrow on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we'll get to see Jack Mistero's older brother, RJ, and the RCSJ Roadrunners as they face on not just a team from out of state. Whoa, that one was out of state. Outside, Kingsway's dugout loves it. It's 1-0. Not only are they playing a team out of state, they're playing a team out of the country. They're playing Academy de Baseball Canada. They're a baseball academy out of Montreal. They produced the Twins' second baseman, Edouard Julien. They'll be playing the Roadrunners at 3:30 p.m. on Thursday, as in tomorrow. I'll be on the call for that one, and that'll be our first baseball game with RCSJ this year. We'll also be at Burlington Township versus Cinnaminson on Friday at 3:45 p.m. First time seeing the new-look Pirates. And Richmond commit Noah Harvey. And then, of course, on Saturday, as we've mentioned a million times before, the Ralph Shaw Classic first round. Swing and a miss there. Consolation games will be played on Sunday. As we said, we can't make it to the consolation games. However, we will be at the first round, Bishop Eustace and Kingsway, and then Camden Catholic and Audubon. Both games on Saturday, 11-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Time called at the dish by Shields. Outside. 2-2. By the way, some out-of-town scorecards from around South Jersey. Pittman leads Pennsville 2-1 in the 4th inning. Eastern and RV are tied 1-1 in the 2nd, actually going to the 3rd. But we'll hold off on that as here's the 2-2. Smalitz kicks and delivers. Floated foul down the left field line. That one will get out of play. St. Augustine leads Millville at their home field 3-0 after 1. St. Augustine beat Millville handily yesterday over at Mike Trout Field. Not too much I can get here from Twitter around South Jersey, but the 2-2 grounded off of Smalitz's glove. It goes to second base, maybe going to get him at first. The throw is offline, and he'll get aboard. Not sure if they'll call that a hit or an error over at the second base. We'll call that a hit, but That'll be Shields. As here is Rickards. Rickards committed to Wilmington University just off of the Memorial Bridge in Delaware. This one's hit out towards right field. Again, got behind it. It'll be in play for the right fielder, Mr. Jude Morgan, and the side is retired. Kingsway gets a runner on, but doesn't get any further. Smallett's still scoreless through 3, and in fact, nobody's crossed home plate today. In fact, nobody's even made it to third base after 3. It's no score. Well, we thought yesterday was a pitcher's duel. Shawnee beat Cherry Hill West 1-0. Well, how about this? Scoreless in the top of the 4th. 2 very good outings here from Jake Mangiafesta and from Jackson Smalletts. An infield single. They did call it an infield single from the left fielder Shields. So that does take care of the first hit of the day for Kingsway. And there's a base hit in the right by Jack Mastero. Lines it into the right field side. And that is the best way that you can do a lefty-lefty matchup. Leading off the 4th inning here. Just trying to find a way to get on and in a lefty-lefty matchup, especially with Lynham back there. Not easy to counteract that. So Mastero gets a good barrel there, as here is Henry Pancoast, the center fielder. Mastero now 2 for 2 with 2 singles, and Pancoast will follow up with a base hit in the right center field. This is going to drop. Mastero's got some wheels. He will park it at third, and Nate Bott comes up with it. Perfect time for Henry Pancoast as Mangiafesta runs into some trouble here in the top of the 4th. Back-to-back singles. And now Jude Morgan, the right fielder, finds some life with runners on the corners. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic food products available in South Jersey, along with toys, cages, accessories, and much, much more. Visit today or 7 days a week at 226 South White Horse Pike in Audubon. Throw over to first, not in time. I love the energy that Gloucester Catholic's dugout has. It's, relatively inoffensive, but also very lively, very energetic, and just, it's that old school baseball. We were at Shawnee and Cherry Hill West yesterday as another pickoff attempt, and I even mentioned it to our color commentator, Chris Baker. I said, it is very quiet today. I mean, yes, we were in the outfield, but even when you're in the outfield with the headsets on, you can still hear the dugouts. You can still hear them getting piped up and fired up and all sorts of kind of energy in their system. First pitch outside from Mangiafesta, but, we didn't really have that energy yesterday. Even though we were 400 feet away over at the Tom Trotman Field, it certainly felt different. And this is just what Tri-County baseball is all about. You know, Gloucester Catholic joined the Royal Division in 2023. Timber Creek was a former member, but for the longest time, Gloucester Catholic staying true to that Tri-County small two divisions of large schools motto, they were in the Tri-County Classic. So they were playing Salem, Wildwood, and Pittman and Pennsville every year twice. And you know, I think that this Tri-County Royal Division, now that they're in their third season there, is a much better fit for GC. They're playing tougher competition because even though they're non-public, they play in non-public B, which is the smaller of the two brackets. You know, St. Augustine and PVI, Red Bank Catholic, they're all part of non-public A, which comprises of the larger Catholic and parochial schools throughout the state. 2-0, 2 runners on here, and Morgan fouls it straight back. Morgan will be followed by the freshman Angelo, the right fielder. Two balls, one strike. Another pickoff attempt at third. Trying to get Pancoast by all means imaginable. Two one. Does not catch the zone there. Missed low. Three balls, one strike. Manifesta looking to avoid getting the bases loaded. Here's the 3-1. This one's hit out down the right field line. It'll go out of play. 3-2. Really like this approach here from Pancoast, especially with the freshmen next. Those freshmen, especially for GC, always going to be a bit of a wild card. And here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nowhere to hide. Here's the 3-2. Hit out towards right center field. This should stay up, and it will. It'll be caught. Runner will tag, and for the first time today, a runner has crossed home plate. Jack Mastero will score, and it's 1-0 Gloucester Catholic. That's what GC needed. They needed a little bit of a spark there, even if it's just a sacrifice fly out to center field. Seems pretty pedestrian in most people's eyes, but they have to get that run across, and they just have to get going. And that's exactly what they did there. Lined it out to center field from Morgan, set up the position for Angelo to keep the at-bats going, and now you've got a runner on first and one away with a 1-0 lead for the Rams. Angelo grounded out to short his first time. Another pickoff attempt at first. They are not letting Pancoast go until they either have him out or until they get the batter out, or until the dusk of time. It's at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 pickoff attempts at first. I mean, hey, there's no restrictions like there is in Major League or Minor League Baseball, so it's reasonable to go ahead and do it. I mean, high school rules definitely, you know, if you're a casual fan of Major League Baseball and you know a little bit about, you know, what they do, you watch a high school game and it's a little bit refreshing, especially for the old-fashioned fans of Major League Baseball. You know, I've never been, oh, hold on here, that one's going to get Ford's attention, and going down to second will be Pancoast. So that takes care of that takes care of the pickoff situation. But it's 1-1. But no, I mean, if you are a fan of baseball that is dissatisfied with all the new rule changes, the runner on second base, the pickoff attempt limits, the mound visit limits, you know, everything like that, the pitch clock, well, then you want to watch high school baseball, because at least in Jersey, none of those rules are here. And there's really no need for it. The pitchers in high school are young. They're 15 to 18 years old. They work quickly. They work fast. They work efficiently. And also their health is a little bit better. They're not 40-year-olds moseying around the field and just looking for a way to stall the game a little bit longer. And even in college, I don't think that, even though there is a pitch clock in college, I don't think it's that necessary, because those pitchers are just healthy enough to where they're working fast. Ground ball to third, picked up by Bott. A low scoop, Rickards hangs onto it, and he got him. Good save there by Rickards. Dropped it with his glove on the short hop and then came up with the hand, the bare hand, to pick it up, and that'll be a 5-3 ground out. For Angelo, who's 0 for 2. Now that'll bring up Marziani to left fielder. Eastern puts up 2 more runs in the top of the third. It's 3-1 in the third at RV. Inside, 1-0. This one's hit out to left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Getting the green light around third is Pancoast. He will come in and score. Throw is late. 2-0 on an RBI single. Off the bat of the number 8 hitter Marziani, and it's 2-0 GC. Good piece of hitting there. I like it. Simple stuff. Hit it out to left. 8 hitter does his job. And now it is 2-0 Gloucester Catholic. Two outs. Runner on first after the RBI single by Marziani. This one's hit in the left field by Franchitti. This one's got some distance to it, going back to the wall. It is off the bottom of the wall. That one almost got out of the ballpark, but it stays in. The throw gets away in the infield and make that 3-0. As how about it for Gloucester Catholic? A 3 spot in the top of the fourth after a dormant first half and an RBI double. Off the bat of the number 9 hitter Franchitti on a ball that almost left the yard. Gloucester Catholic takes a 3-0 lead. Second double of the day for Franchitti, doing his job out of the 9 spot. Just doing a great job there. So Bill Alvaro Jr. still with trust in his man. No action yet in either bullpen. Gloucester Catholic still staying adamant here as Smalletz gets a little bit of an extended rest. There's 2 outs. Back to Danza. Strike there. 0-1. If you're just joining us, Gloucester Catholic put up 3 runs in the top of the fourth. And maybe more on the way. RBI double by Franchitti. Brought home the third. Danza got on top of it. It will roll foul and stay there. Oh, how about this? Shalleck just put up a 10 spot on Woodstown in the first inning. The first inning lasted 39 minutes as Shalleck put up 10 runs.
I told you, Shalleck's a sleeper.
They are. They've got Luke Prokrovsky, who's starting today for the Cougars. This one popped up back behind the plate. This one's headed towards the grandstands. Look out. It actually landed back in the field. How about that? I thought that one was going to go over into the grandstands. You could see the collective panic from everybody behind us. They were just starting to part the Red Sea. Oh, yeah, take cover for a little harmless baseball. 0-2. It's a bit of a windy day, blowing out to left, but a sold-out packed crowd here at Kingsway. That one skips in the dirt off the chest of Ashton Ford. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. That one's high, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second for Gloucester Catholic. Swing and a miss. It's going to go back to the backstop. Ford doesn't know where it is. It's down the third base line. Now the pitcher has to pick it up, and Gloucester Catholic just scored. They just scored from second on a strikeout, and he got down to second base. He did the old Jose Bautista move back in Toronto. And Noah Danza advances 2 bases on Manjafesta's second strikeout, and it's 4-0. I mean, he did not know where that ball was. And Kingsway with a pretty big mistake there. I mean, Ford was looking for it. There were folks pointing to where the ball was, and then Manjafesta had to take matters into his own hands and take it himself. And now after that foul ball, we will have a mound visit with Manjafesta. Gloucester Catholic's dugout applauding just because, I mean, first of all, he's talking to Ford. But yeah, I feel bad for Ashton Ford, especially because he hasn't had too much varsity experience, kind of getting thrown into the limelight there. I like the conversation he was having with the coach there, just making sure that they were on the same page. Listen to this from Gloucester Catholic. Those guys are excited, I'll tell you that. They are off the wall in that dugout. And it's a good thing to sing when you're winning, and they're singing, I'll tell you that. 0-1. Popped up. This one is going to land somewhere, maybe back in Gloucester, and it's 0-2. So in what is the 8th batter of the inning for Gloucester with a 4-run fourth, Kingsway will bat 3, 4, and 5, Rickards, Patero, and Thorpe in the bottom half of the 4th. Lined center field. This one's playable for Stevenson. He dives in and makes the catch to retire the side. Damage is done. 4 runs for Gloucester Catholic as they break the ice and get on the board in a big way. They bring 8 men to the plate and go into the bottom of the 4th. It is 4-0.
Ryan Nutley, who has 3 RBIs so far, is up on deck as here's a fly ball to center field, going back to the wall. It is gone! 3-run home run, Steve Schaefer. He rockets one out, and it's 9-2. First home run for Schaefer this year, the second hit at home by a Scarlet Raptor.
Bottom of the 4th inning. This broadcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Vincent's Lawn Care. Spring is here. It certainly feels a little bit colder than spring, but guess what? It is right around the corner. We know how warm it was on Saturday. You can get top-of-the-line lawn care in South Jersey by calling Vincent today at 609-413-0403. Strike call in the outside corner there. Eesh. Oh, 1. got another one. Some Kingsway fans growing with some dismay with this home plate work here. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with those last two, but 0-2 here. That time he didn't get the call. One ball, two strikes to Patero. Outside corner, didn't get it there. 2-2. Definitely was outside on that one. Patero hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Kingsway looking for some more offensive life and a little bit of rejuvenation after Gloucester Catholic's 4-run fourth. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smalitz delivers. Fouls it straight back off the back fence. Here at Kingsway Regional, if you're just joining us, Gloucester Catholic sent 8 men to the plate in the fourth, scored 4. 52 degrees here at Kingsway today, wind blowing slightly out towards left field at Ryan K. Ionelli Memorial Field. 2-2 at the Letters, 3-2 now. I'll tell you this, props to Patero. Had 2 calls on the first 2 pitches of the at-bat that might have been a little bit off, and now he's been working the count and getting himself back to fruition here as the 3-2 on its way. Fouled back, he'll stay alive. This will be pitch number 7. Thorpe, who flew out to center in his first at-bat, is next. As Gloucester Catholic looking to keep Smalitz out there for as long as he's comfortable with, as it's pitch number 7 to lead off the 4th. This time, strike 3. That was almost in the same spot as one of the other ones, and it is strikeout number 2 for Smalitz. Just the second K for Jackson today. His first came in the second inning to Nate Bott, and now here's Braden Thorpe. Thorpe to be followed by Austin Schmidt, there we go, the DH. As the first pitch at the Letters again, 1-0. But yeah, Gloucester Catholic definitely does not want to use all of their bullpen assets here in game 1 of a 3-day adventure, if you will. That one goes up and in. Thorpe with a bit of a grin there after missing up and in. Count is 2-0. Smalitz working with the bases empty, 1 away. He's only allowed 1 infield single in this game. Here's the 2-2. A 2-0 rather, as a strike called, and it's 2-1. Thorpe to be followed by Schmidt, as Thorpe homered in the opening day win over GCIT on Monday. There's a frame that doesn't go, and now it's 3-1. So a bit of all over the place here in these last couple of at-bats. And it's now 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike from Smalitz. That one is lined into right center field. He gets his payback. There's a base hit for Braden Thorpe. And he'll get aboard with a line drive base hit. Second hit of the day for the Dragons. And now here is the lefty, Schmidt. Smalitz ready. Popped up foul down the left field line. Smalitz to commit to Coastal Carolina. Of course, Kingsway also had a product at Coastal Carolina last year, Landon Edwards, the left-hander, who spent a year at Coastal, went back to RCSJ Gloucester for 2025. As they're 25-2, beat Middlesex College 6-1 yesterday. And then again, play that team from Montreal in a midweek matchup on Thursday, as in tomorrow. 1-1 to the DH Schmidt. Throw back to first, almost got him there, didn't get it in time. One ball, one strike, one out. Kingsway with a runner on first, looking to score for the first time today. Outside, 2-1. Don't forget, for our Kingsway friends, we'll also be covering the Dragons on Saturday, April 5th in the first round of the Ralph Shaw Tournament. They'll be in the first game of the day at 11 a.m. versus Bishop Eustace and Kingsway. We will also see the Dragons late in the season when they play Delsea on May 21st. Ground ball in between third and short. Didn't get too much pop on it, and he boots it. Danza couldn't come up with it, and that'll be an E6 to give Kingsway a little bit more to cheer for, as Danza picks up an error. And here is Bott. Bott looking to settle in here. Bott struck out in his first at bat. He is one of 2 Smollett strikeouts today. Strike called, 0-1. Kingsway's been very reluctant to swing at the first pitch today. They've been very consistent in making sure that they don't rush their at-bats. They've been working Smollett's pitch count up. They want to make sure that he's not comfortable out there on their home turf, on their home mound. I mean, that is a very high mound that he's throwing off of. That velocity is definitely going to be a little bit higher than at Gloucester Catholic. And, you know, that's what we talked about last year. We had a very good conversation with Howard Darius, Tate's dad, as he's now over a hurricane in Miami. But we were talking about him. He was like, he's basically throwing off of a flat ground because of how the Gloucester Catholic mound is. Now here, it's way different. It's a 180-degree turnaround, and that mound is way higher. I mean, you can just see how tall it is with Smollett standing on top of it, and really just how far down it goes. I mean, it's not like Major League Baseball where every mound is the same height. This can be a little bit of the Wild West. 1-1 is a swing and a miss. Bott put everything he had into that swing, and it's 1-2 with one away. 2 runners on. Kingsway with a single and E6 back-to-back with 1 out in the 4th. One and 2, time called. This Kingsway dugout louder than any before. On the top step. Steps off again. They want to get into his head by any means possible. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kingsway's dugout, as we said, every man on the top step versus Smollett's. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him. Smollett's with a silencer. That's his 3rd strikeout as Bott goes down for the 2nd time tonight. Out number 2 for Cam Stevenson, the center fielder. Two on, 2 out. Kingsway trailing by 4 as Gloucester Catholic put up a big spot in the 4th inning. First pitch Stevenson in a relatively crouched stance goes to miss that one. 1-0. Smallets looks back at second. Has a strikeout in this inning with Bott. Oh, that one hit him right in the shoulder. He fires the bat down to first base, and the bases are loaded. Lost control there, and now the bases are loaded. Tying run at the dish, and it's the number 9 hitter, Ashton Ford. If you're Ford, actually, hold on, we're going to have a pinch hitter here, it looks like. No? Never mind. I spoke too soon. I saw Taylor going out there. I thought somebody else was hitting for him, but here is Ashton Ford. Bottom of the 4th inning. This should be a good at-bat. The rematch between these two will be on April 28th. And by then, we'll see who are the contenders and who are the pretenders in South Jersey baseball. That one misses. 1-0. One ball, no strikes to Ford. Throws to third. He caught him napping, and he's out. They got him there as they leave the bases loaded. They caught a runner napping at third, and the inning is over. Gloucester Catholic forces Kingsway to leave the bases loaded, and they are fired up 4-0 after 4.
Literally, they've been here twice, and they're about to score, or on the doorstep of scoring 50 for the 2nd game in a row. Xavier Terry Brown. He is still on his feet. He's being shoved forward into the end zone. But who's got the ball? Look at Jason Solomon. The ball magically appeared in Woodbury's hands, and now they're back at the 50. This one's going back. This one's going to go to the distance. I don't see any flags. Did that just go for 100 yards? I think it did. I do not see any flags as Woodbury. Oh my goodness, Jason Solomon have a day. He is the first man not named Taylor to score. Wow, that was good.
Art Richardson is the new pitcher for Kingsway as they get this party started in the top of the 5th inning. As Art Richardson, the junior left-hander, back-to-back lefties for Kingsway. As it'll be Guy Lynham, 3, 4, and 5, meat of the order for Gloucester Catholic. Richardson and Manifesta both relatively inexperienced at the varsity level, but they are facing the Goliath that is Gloucester Catholic here. It'll be Lynham, Mastero, and Pancos. So good idea by Kingsway here in the 5th to throw out another lefty, see what they've got in the tank. But Manifesta's day is done after the 4-run 4th. He struck out 4 batters as a strike is called. One ball, one strike. This one popped up. First base or third base side, trailing towards Bott. It drops in fair territory. Lynham with a base hit. Here is Jack Mastero now. So after another defensive miscue. So Lynham gets his first knock of the day in the 5th inning. And Mastero, with 2 singles already in this one, comes up in a big way. First pitch is called a strike. We will have a pinch runner at first base for Gloucester Catholic. It'll be Brody Gates running for Lynham. So going for the quicker option over at first base in a lefty-lefty matchup with Mastero. 0-1 is the count. This one is smoked out towards right field. It will stay in the ballpark. Out number 1. Here's Pancoast. Single and a strikeout to his record today. 4-0 Gloucester Catholic. Runner on. They throw over to first. How about it? What a play, Art Richardson. He faked the throw, and Gloucester Catholic not happy. They're trying to argue a balk. He's going out there, and he is not happy. They're saying that Gloucester Catholic is trying to argue that he balked and that he used the back foot. I mean, it was an unusual throw. And keep in mind that Dennis Barth is not here today. He's still going over there. I am shocked that they didn't throw him out. He'll go back to third base there with 2 outs as Art Richardson pulls off the pickoff move. Gloucester Catholic livid with the call, and that's a relatively long leash with some of the things that were said. I know there's some umpires that would waste no time in throwing a coach out, but like we said, Dennis Barth isn't even here. He's we had a discussion with Bill Gore, said he wasn't going to be in attendance for this game with Kingsway. So they've got some interim folks down there, I guess, taking care of business, and even some of the interim folks might be getting in trouble soon. Strike called, 1-1. So Art Richardson pulls off the pickoff move. Base is empty now with 2 down. Yeah, I had never seen a pickoff move like that in my life. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. And that kind of fiery exchange with the Gloucester Catholic coach is only going to get the home dugout fired up more. It's only going to get the Kingsway fans fired up more, and it's only going to make this game just that more intense. Keep in mind, this is the third day of the regular season for 90% of the state. And this game's already being treated like a World Series game. It's 1-2. Richardson, foul tip. Pancoast stays alive. Good approach here by Pancoast, especially after, seeing your coach have a not so nice exchange with the umpire. You always want to have a short memory. You don't want to, file that in the back of your mind. Just want to focus on the task at hand and none of the extracurriculars. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt. 2-2. I mean, how long until that Gloucester Catholic coach pulls out an Earl Weaver move? I don't know. Or one of the old Lloyd McClendon tactics where he throws first base into the stands. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball out to short. At the second, rather. Throw to first is in time. Side retired. So Gloucester Catholic with a scoreless first thanks to the first varsity appearance by Art Richardson. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Still GC 4, Kingsway 0. Regional High School. This broadcast is brought to you by the Rowan College of South Jersey Roadrunners Athletic Department. Join me and the RCSJ Roadrunners as nationally championship contending programs in the fall, winter, and spring for all athletes throughout South Jersey. To become a prospective athlete at RCSJ, visit their website at rcroadrunners.com and fill out the prospective athlete form, and also follow them on social media at RC Roadrunners on all platforms. Strike called to Ford. Ford started his at-bat in the bottom of the fourth inning, but it was interrupted by a pickoff move at third to leave the bases loaded. A real gut punch for the Dragons, but they stay alive here. As that one, he shakes it off. It's 1-1. 1-1 from Smallet. Still in the game here in the fifth. Can't catch the outside there. Taylor on deck to be followed by Kyle Shields. 2 balls, 1 strike. Strike called, 2-2. Ford grounded out softly to second base in his first at-bat. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball off the pitcher's mound, takes a hop to short. Danza's throw is in time. They got him down there at first, and it's out number 1. Brings us back to the top of the order for Taylor. So in the third rotation now, Taylor 0 for 2. Ground out and a fly out in this one. Strike called, 0-1. One 0-1 pitch rather is outside. Now it's 1-1. To the batter, Taylor, the shortstop for the Dragons. Coming into this one 0-2, 0 for 2 today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes is the count with 1 out. The lefty Kyle Shields, the left fielder, is on deck. 1-2. Smallets delivers. That one is swung on and missed in the dirt. He's not going to run it out, and that's out number 2. Couldn't get out of the box there, and that'll be strikeout number 3, rather strikeout number 4. Make it 2 outs in the 5th here for Shields. Two outs, bases empty. Smallet still working with a shutout here. Just 2 hits allowed in 4 2/3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts. As the 1-0, strike called there, 1-1. Ground ball through the middle. That's a base hit into center field for Shields. He'll pump the brakes there, and now the left fielder sets it up for Rickards. Rickards, as a junior last year, was in his first varsity season. We remember covering them in last year's Ralph Shaw Classic versus Bishop Eustace, where he had a game-tying double that set up a walk-off bunt in the bottom of the 7th inning over at Audubon's Field. First pitch. Rickards takes a strike. So Shields now 2 for 3. That's in the dirt. Popped up over to first. Mistero looks like he's got it, and he makes the catch. Inning over. Kingsway leaves another runner on, and through 5, Gloucester Catholic is rolling, but they have not scored since that 4-run outburst in the 4th. Still GC 4, Kingsway 0.
He's donning the number 34 and the shortstop for this one. First pitch. There's a line drive into center field. That one is going to drop it. It's going to go to the outfield wall. 1 run will score. Spence is going to make a huge arc around third. She will score to make it 3-0. And here comes the runner to score. It's an inside the park home run for Ella Hayes to make it a 4-0 game, a 3-run inside the Parker to the 2.
Art Richardson still on the hill in the top of the 6th, and Kingsway trails by 4. I definitely think some mental mistakes have hurt them today. The pickoff move at third with the bases loaded could have set up a really good at-bat with Ford, but obviously that was cut short. And then an error in the field and a couple of missed fly balls. And well, first of all, the wild pitch that got the 4th run home was from second base, and it was a strikeout, dropped third strike that allowed Dan to advance from home plate to second. So first pitch misses there. Patero, Thorpe, and Richards leading it off in the bottom of the 6th inning. However, ground ball in the first couple of pitches there is out number 1 as Morgan is retired. So here's Mikey Angelo, freshman here for Gloucester Catholic, 0 for 2, 2 ground outs in the infield. By the way, still 3-1 Eastern over RV in the 6th inning. There's a strike called. St. Augustine leads Millville 4-2 in the top of the 4th. Morristown leads Seneca 10-7 in the 7th. That one misses. I would assume that Smallett's day may be done because some of the folks that had the cameras behind the dish have since left the ballpark. I mean, sometimes there's scouts here that are there for one person and one person only. And in that case, it was Smallett's, the right-hander out of Coastal Carolina, or a future Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. Count is 2-1 to Morgan. I mean, when we saw Caden Bodine, I think it was 3 years ago, 2022 was his senior year, and it was my sophomore year of high school. Hit very well for Haddon Heights, as that one's in the left field corner. That's going to drop for Morgan. That's going to be a base hit. He will take a big turn and stop at first base, and Morgan with a base hit. Gloucester Catholic dugout is egging on their freshman, Morgan. Like we said, you can sing when you're winning, and they're winning right now 4-0. 4 spot in the top of the 6th inning was really all they needed. Swing and a miss. Check swing, they say yes, and it's 0-2. As Angelo checks up at first. No balls, 2 strikes. He steps off. Now we'll go down to second base. They're going to be caught in a pickle. And he gets him down there for out number 2. Now Gloucester Catholic's going to go out again to talk about it. They're going to try to contest this thing again. That's the second time he's argued that pickoff move on Richardson. Now that he's talking to the home plate umpire. The first one was on a normal pickoff move. Let's just say he has not had the best relationship with the umpires today. 2 outs after the runner got picked off in a pickle. Now the bases are empty for GC. Time is called. Gloucester Catholic debuting their new uniforms on the road today, the maroon with yellow piping. I really, really like these jerseys. That one goes to the backstop. 1-2. So now GC wipes the slate clean with the bases empty. For Marziani, 1 for 2 today. After the base hit by Angelo. 1-2, skips in the dirt. Two. Didn't get it there. 3-2. Richardson shaking that one off. Three balls, 2 strikes. Marziani now working the count full after being down 0-2, and he's going to work the walk. Great at bat there from Sal Marziani. And now it's number 23. Oh, this is Braden Lipoff. So Lipoff enters the game. Now he's going over to talk to his first base runner. So Lipoff, who we didn't know if he was going to play today because he wasn't in the starting lineup, now re-enters. So now Lipoff bats. He'll be in the 9 spot replacing Frank Keaty. Strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Another pickoff throw to first. Seems like he's just kind of like prancing off the mound when he makes his throw because he's going over, and then that back foot just kind of like comes twirling along with him. It's almost like he's losing his balance when he's throwing over to first. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. 0-1, runner goes. Here comes the throw down to second. It does not beat him. Throw trickles into center field. It gets past both runners, but GC will stay put and they'll hold there. So a stolen base and a ball, now 1-1 as Marziani moves it over. Richardson ready to go. Art with the 1-1. Ooh, didn't get it there. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Fouled straight back. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to the East Carolina commit, and former Kingsway Dragon himself looking to get a hit off his old team and maybe an RBI with a runner in scoring position. Here's the 2-2, fouled again, straight back. This will be pitch number 7 of the at-bat. Danza, the shortstop, would be next if the inning continues, but Art Richardson ready to go, ready to face the big guns in Lipoff. 2-2, 2 outs, and the pitch. And he paints the corner like Picasso, inning over. Got him looking on the outside corner, and Art Richardson takes care of business in front of the home crowd. He strikes out the East Carolina commit Lipoff looking, and the inning is over. Kingsway, though, does need to get the bats fired up if they want to win this game. It is 4-0 going to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Kingsway. You know, we talk about how this matchup is between 2 legendary South Jersey coaches, Bill Alvaro Jr. and Dennis Barth. Barth not here today for an undisclosed reason as to why he's not at Kingsway today, but their interims are certainly getting the job done. They lead 4-0 in the top of the 6th inning. As Smallets, I thought his day might have been done, but I was incorrect. He is back out for the 6th inning. And another strike called to Patero. Patero, Thorpe, and Schmidt. Four, 5, and 6 for Kingsway here in a 4-0 ball game. 0-2 is the count. Smallets looking for a clean at-bat to start the 6th, and he does not get it. That one is ripped way foul. That's going to go onto the football complex out there, back behind the left field fence. No balls, 2 strikes. Outside corner, he got him. Patero, hands up, curious about that call, and that's out number 1. Second strikeout of the day for Patero, and the 5th. As here's Braden Thorpe. Homered in Monday's opening day win over GCIT. 6-5 the final in favor of Kingsway. Like we said, both teams 1-0 going into this contest. Strike called. 0-1. Oh, 0-1 is the count. Gets another one. I mean, Smallett's right now pitching like a fine wine ages, just better with time. And here's the 0-2. Good frame, didn't get the call. He got him. Back-to-back Ks. And Thorpe goes down on strikes. Here's now Schmidt, the DH. And now that Gloucester Catholic coach will go out and talk to Smallett's. Like I said, I don't know if they have him pitch capped or just going to talk it over. I mean, like we said, we don't know if that bullpen is going to hold up. Very quick meeting. He stopped for maybe 2 seconds, and that was all. So now here's Schmidt. First pitch, outside, well outside there by Smallett's. I don't see anybody warming up for GC, but that could very well just be behind the dugout. Here at Kingsway Regional High School, 1-0 count. Dan Wilkins joined by Jake Schneidler on the production today. Outside there, 2-0. Good take there by Schmidt. He's reached base twice, a walk and an E6. Kingsway held to just 2 hits in this one. Actually, I apologize, 3 hits, 2 of them from Kyle Shields, the left fielder. Here's the 2-0. Lined, there's hit number 4. As Schmidt lines it into center field. And they get a late 2-out base runner here in the 6th. And now here's Nate Bott. He struck out in both of his appearances today. Nate Bott, responsible for 2 of the 5 strikeouts by Smallett's today. Here's the first pitch. Beautiful fastball there, dotting the corner. Here's the 0-1. Bott dealing with a runner on first. And 2 away, down by 4. Late on the fastball. Wonder if he's going to try to go for that slider down and away here. That's what got Bott last time. And what do they say in the old-fashioned times? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Looks like that might be the philosophy here. Here is the 0-2. And he did go with it. He got him. 7 strikeouts for Jackson Smallett's, the Coastal Carolina product, and the inning is over. Last chance for Gloucester Catholic to add on some insurance, followed by last chance for Kingsway to swing the bats in regulation. Through 6 innings, it's GC 4, Kingsway 0. top of the 7th inning. Art Richardson still out for a 3rd inning in relief. We saw 4 frames from the left-hander Jake Mangiafesta as a strike is called to Guy Lynham. I apologize to Noah Danza. That's who it was. 1, 2, and 3, though, for Gloucester Catholic. Danza, Bogart, and Lynham. Definitely a big battle test here for Richardson, as it will be his first time facing Danza and Bogart today. Richardson has been a bit of a master of the element of surprise. He has picked off 2 runners today and has 1 strikeout in 2 innings of relief. Got a 1-1 count here, make that 2-1 as that skips way down. Held onto the ball for too long there, kind of spiked it. And it's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike to Danza, former product out of Clearview, transferred to GC and now committed to Virginia, the Cavaliers. Ground ball foul. I've been to the University of Virginia campus. It's actually quite nice. Been to John Paul Jones Arena in Charlottesville for a concert back in November of 2023. And I'll tell you this about the Virginia campus. It is pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I live down near Rowan and in Pittman, and around Glassboro, there's a lot of different towns. There's a lot of different places and a lot of different decently populated areas, but the 2-2 is a swing and a miss. Richardson picks up another strikeout, and it's at the hands of Danza, out number 1. As Danza struck out for the 3rd time today, he's 0 for 3. And even though they shut him down, that's the beauty of baseball. You shut one down, it's a game of whack-a-mole. One goes down, another 2 pop up. So there you have it. Here is Bogart. Strikeout, fielder's choice, and a line out to his credit today. Another curveball catches his own 0-1. Bogart, the second baseman in the 2 slot for Gloucester Catholic this afternoon. Just past 6 o'clock now here in Kingsway, or not in Kingsway, in Woolwich Township at Kingsway Regional. Here's the 0-1. This one is poked on a ball down. Richardson hangs onto it. Throw to first is in time. Out number 2. Now here's Guy Lynham. So a 1-3 ground out. Sets the situation up for Lynham. 2 ground outs and a single for the future Auburn Tiger in the SEC. With that little front foot raised, first pitch outside. Yeah, but no, Charlottesville is one of those college towns that ends up, it ends up just going out in the middle of nowhere. You know, you think of the I-95 corridor that we all take when we drive down to Disney World or Myrtle Beach or something like that, but you have to get at least 2 hours off the highway. I mean, you're basically off the highway in D.C./Northern Virginia. Like, they told the other on-decks batter to get back in the dugout. It's 2-0. You're on not a major highway, but basically think of a 70-mile-per-hour speed limit with traffic lights. Basically 55 with intersections and lights. That's just how it is there. A lot of rural land down there. Ground ball stays fair down the first base line. Has trouble with it. Tags the bag. He got him. Art Richardson with a good tag over at first base to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Gloucester Catholic looking to shut things down for the last time today, and Kingsway looking to get some action in the bats. 4-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th inning, Sal Marziani is the pitcher for Gloucester Catholic. Jackson Smallett's day is done. 6 innings, 4 hits allowed, commands a shutout through 6 with 7 strikeouts. Kingsway's dugout looking to throw some pixie dust onto this game and see if they can get some life in the bat. So there were a lot more folks here a couple of hours ago than there are now. That one is a strike called. Marziani, already with 3 2/3 innings pitched this year. He did it versus Washington Township. Struck out 4 in the win. There's a fly ball out to left, but that'll be straight away and caught for out number 1. As the fly out to left by Stephenson brings up Ashton Ford. 8-9-1 here. We're now in the bottom of the order with the catcher Ford. Of course, a lot of big shoes to fill with Tommy Popoff. Swing and a miss. Ford late there. Oh, 1 is the count. Got jammed, fouls it off and into the Kingsway dugout. It's 0-2. This broadcast is brought to you by the Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, or Dog Pro Wrestling, South Jersey's best premier pro wrestling organization in the Garden State, with high-flying events and non-stop entertainment throughout New Jersey. For more information on future events and ticketing, visit dawgprowrestling.com. 0-2 is the count. Did not get him there as Lipoff set outside. Also, don't forget, if you're a small business owner interested in advertising with Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, you can send me an email with an advertising inquiry at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. We also accept contributions at our Venmo at DW Broadcasting, no spaces, no hyphens, as we are not being paid for this game by either school. There's a foul ball out to the right side. I'm a 19-year-old freshman at Rowan College of South Jersey. I do this, as a big passion, something that I want to do, get an associate's in radio, TV, and film, and then go to Rowan to get a degree, 4-year degree in sports communication and media. So it would all be appreciated. We'll be seeing Kingsway and Gloucester Catholic several times throughout the season, and not to mention in the fall and winter as well, as we have all the time with these 2 programs. This is the 20th time that we're seeing Gloucester Catholic on DWB. They have a record of 12-6-1. As there's a swing and a miss. 8 total strikeouts on the Gloucester Catholic staff, and we're down to our final out here at Kingsway. Turns the lineup card back over, though, for Taylor. And for Kingsway, this is their 14th appearance with a 9-4 record. So both of these teams have done very well with the lights on and the cameras in our faces, but now Taylor's got a chance to extend the ball game. That one misses. 1-0 as Marziani couldn't get that one to go. Marziani is a pitcher last year, 0.57 ERA in 12 1/3 innings. 8 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts. Ground ball foul, it's 1-1. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow at RCSJ Gloucester for an out-of-country matchup between Academy de Baseball Canada out of Montreal versus the 25-2 RCSJ Roadrunners. For our Kingsway fans, we'll be seeing you on Saturday versus Bishop Eustace in the Ralph Shaw Classic in the first round for the 4th straight year. And here's the 1-1.
Good hold. Good hold.
Strike called, 1-2. Down to their last strike. Gloucester Catholic only needed 1 inning to get the job done. 4 runs in the top of the 4th inning. Sent 8 batters to the plate, and that was the most explosive any offense got today. Here's the 1-2. Check swing. Appeal. Says no. And we stay alive. 2-2. If the game runs long enough, Kyle Shields, who had 2 singles back-to-back in his last 2 at-bats, would be next, but he'll have to get through them first. Sal Marziani looking to shut it down and command the shutout, the 6+1 with Jackson Smallets. Here's the 2-2 with 2 outs. Outside, count is full. And Lipoff, who came in the game as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning, replaced the catcher Gavin Franchitti. The count is 3-2. Taylor looking to keep the game alive as the black and red Dragons without a run, and they will stay that way. Ball game. They throw it down to first with Jack Mastero, and Sal Marziani takes care of business, strikes out 2 in a relief effort, and Jackson Smallets will be your player of the game without a doubt. 6 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, just 4 hits allowed, and just a walk or 2 as he commands the shutout. A 4-run 4th inning was all Gloucester Catholic needed to get ahead, and that's all that they needed to get the win. They improved to 2-0 in the young campaign. They play 3 games in 3 days. This is the first of the 3. They play Hun at Hun tomorrow, and they have a tri-county clash with Pennsville on Friday. Kingsway will fall to 1-1. They play on Friday. I apologize for not having that up at the ready. They will play on Friday, April 4th, if their schedule will load for just a second. But I know they are in the Ralph Shaw Classic with Bishop Eustace, Kingsway, Camden Catholic, and Audubon. Stay tuned for post-game interviews as we're going to try to get a word with Jackson Smallets, the right-hander with 6 scoreless innings today, as Gloucester Catholic gets a road win and stays undefeated with a 2-0 early start to the campaign. As it's Gloucester Catholic 4, Kingsway 0. We'll be back in just a moment. 4-0 Gloucester Catholic. They beat Kingsway and stay undefeated on the young season. Our dog, pro wrestling dog of the game, is Jackson Smallets, the commit to Coastal Carolina. The right-hander struck out 7 across 6 scoreless innings today. I mean, you seem really locked in out there, and especially on a cold, windy day, it's never easy to get a good feel for it. How'd you feel out there?
So it's the first start of the season. First couple of scrimmages I pitched out there, they're pretty cold, so I wasn't really worried about it. Got on the mound and started attacking the strike zone, and noticed all my pitches were working, so I felt confident in myself that me and my team were going to blow out the win.
And especially after only having 2 strikeouts in the first 4 innings, really ramped it up late, and Marziani closed it out in the 7th inning. But that offense really backed you up in the 4th inning. Didn't have a lot early, and then that 4-run 4th inning came along. The big thing about Gloucester Catholic this year, after graduating guys like Tate Darius and stuff like that, is making sure that pitching stays consistent. Your team had a sub 1.5 team ERA last year, and keeping that tradition and keeping that consistency is very important for you guys. And considering it's your first start out there, what was something that you felt maybe was a little bit different, or is something that you're improving on from last year, especially now with your commitment to Coastal Carolina, that you're trying to hone down in your senior year?
Yeah, so last year really didn't get that much innings with like personal stuff and injuries. And then this year I pretty much wanted to show everyone that I'm mentally there and that I'm confident in myself and I want to go out there and pitch good every game. So this year I'm definitely just trying to do differently that, attack the strike soon, use my pitches against good batters, and yeah, that's about it.
And just another question for you. We were talking with some of the Gloucester Catholic folks last year, and that mound is really high out there.
Yeah.
It's almost like an anthill out there. And meanwhile, Gloucester Catholic, we were talking to Howard Darius, Tate's dad, last year, and he said it's basically like throwing from a flat ground. So was that something you had to get used to, or is that just you throw at so many different places across travel, summer, and high school that it wasn't really an issue?
Yeah, so obviously at Gloucester Catholic, you said it's a flat ground. So pitching there, I've gotten used to Gloucester Catholic. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little intimidated by the mound when I stood out there, but I got out there and I just thought about using my legs better and feeling the ball out in front, and I wasn't trying to throw the ball too high and keep it out in front. So.
And of course for you, this is the first of a 3-game set for Gloucester Catholic. They're on the road at Hun tomorrow, then back home at Joe Barth for Pennsville on Friday. You're most likely going to be taking those 2 days off. So how do you feel your team is doing, and how do you feel your team is prepared for the upcoming season here in the first 2 games?
I feel like our team's really prepared. Dennis and Snake has to practice all the time. They're making us hard workers, and then we're ready for the next 2 games with our better pitchers, and yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, Jackson. We do a little tradition here at DWB. We're going to have you sign the bottom of the scorecard, make it nice and big there. You see the scorecard is blank because I left
Right
my
here?
pen over there. Yes. Sorry, on the bottom of the scorecard. Right there, yeah. Just make it nice and big. We do this a lot for the South Jersey players down here. But, yeah, I couldn't find my pen, and then it ended up being right there down the third base line. There you go, Jackson Smallets, player of the game. He'll be signing those a lot down at Coastal Carolina. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. That'll be all for us tonight here on DWB. Our social media coordinator, Haley Mejia. Our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel, Caleb Lane, and Liam Nolan. Hold on there. Our camera just got whipped around. Our producer for the game, Jake Steidler. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you tomorrow at RCSJ Gloucester, and I'll make sure to fix this tripod because I think he knocked it down. I think he caused an earthquake out there. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, folks.